Now on CoastTV News.
Substation sparks support. How the city of Milford is moving closer to a new facility that its fire company says will improve response times.
Denwreck Dune Defense. What the department wants to do to provide Broadkill Beach more protection.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s this morning. We're going to start the week off with plenty of sunshine, seasonable temperatures, but we could be in for a pattern change late week, cold and potentially stormy weather.
Goodbye, birds.
Tip incomplete. San Francisco takes over, looking to take away the upset.
The Eagles' offense goes south in a season-ending playoff loss.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Monday, January 12th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Grace Eckerly has the morning off. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
And I know we've got some sad folks out there. A lot of you out there, I'm sure, are sad.
Yes.
Our producer, Alyssa, First Alert meteorologist, Chris Masterbono.
We've got Brandon, the Packers fan. You were rooting for Trevor Lawrence yesterday.
I'm okay with the winner of either game, though. I like both Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen.
When it comes to you and I mean, our football season ends very early.
Like in October?
Yes, so we're just...
Browns fans?
We're just watching the games. That is unfortunate. But this morning, thank you, Chris, for joining us. I know this was hard for you today. Appreciate you being here, Chris.
Yeah, it was hard falling asleep last night after that disaster of a game, but good morning, guys. Good morning, Delmarva. We are dry to start this morning and quite cold out there to start. We're at 33 right now in Ocean City. The wind chills are in the 20s as well. 29 degrees in Redden. We're at 33 in Laurel, 29 in Long Neck. Our Sunday, we had some gusty winds. Now, the winds have relaxed considerably, but we're still picking up a gust of 24 Indian River Inlet. Pretty quiet, though, as far as the wind gusts are concerned further inland, but you can see the wind chills. It feels like 24 in Milton, 23 Rehoboth, and 24 in Ocean Pines. Now, we have high pressure off to our west. That's going to be sliding eastward today and going to be locking in a pretty nice start to the week. We're going to see plenty of sunshine through the day today. Seasonable temperatures. We're going to get up into the mid-40s through the afternoon. Winds will be out of the west. We'll see a few gusts here and there to 20 miles an hour, but overall, a really nice start to the week. And we're going to continue the dry theme into Tuesday and Wednesday. In fact, we're going to make a brief run at the lower 50s into Tuesday and Wednesday, but we are going to stay dry throughout that time span. We are in for a pattern change, though, late week. That will come with some cold and potentially some stormy conditions here over the next week to 7 to 10 days. We'll talk more about a winter-like weather pattern setting up late week coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. In our top story this hour, we could see a decision soon for plans to expand the Carlisle Fire Company in Milford. The company wants to turn an existing storage building on Cedar Branch Road into a substation.
In December 2025, the Milford Planning Commission approved plans, sending a final decision to City Council.
The fire company says rapid growth in Milford is driving the need for faster emergency response times. And according to the City Council agenda, a public hearing is scheduled for a conditional use ordinance to allow the project to move forward.
And we spoke with the Milford mayor about the need for an additional fire facility.
No, there's a lot to cover out there. You remember, the fire company doesn't just do the city of Milford. They do the city of Milford and the surrounding areas. So they're responsible for quite a bit.
The fire department says this is a smaller location for about 15 people where firefighters would gear up and get fire trucks.
And the public hearing and possible final determination takes place at the City Council meeting tonight at 6 o'clock.
Happening today, a public forum about a proposed wind farm off of the Ocean City coast. Now, it's very important to note that this forum is organized by opponents to the U.S. wind project. This begins at 5:30 p.m. at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center. And we have more on this forum right now on our website, coasttv.com.
Also happening today, more discussion on home-based businesses in Lewis. According to the agenda for tonight's mayor and city council meeting, leaders will discuss rescinding an ordinance to allow them. An at-home dog grooming business started this year's review years ago, and city leaders will gather at 5:30 to consider the issue.
New this morning, Georgetown one step closer to putting in more protection at the circle while working to maintain its historic character. Here's what we mean. The town council is expected to consider a $26,000 proposal from the town engineer for the design and permitting of more protection during tonight's town council meeting. And they hope to have the design and have it out to bid within the next 6 to 8 months.
After we had several crashes into the circle, we had a circle advisory committee that was formed, and one of their recommendations was to come up with a better solution, so we worked with a landscape architect who did a conceptual design.
And Dvorak adds that once that new protections is installed, the Chief Harvey Gregg and Officer Chad Spicer monuments will come back. Also at tonight's Town Council meeting, possible changes to Georgetown's downtown development district. The Town Council is expected to hold a public hearing to discuss renewing the area's designation with the state. And according to the agenda, there are proposed changes to the area's boundaries. Public hearing takes place tonight at 6:30.
On your screen right now is a look from our Coast Copter as Denmark begins what they call dune realignment on severely eroded dunes on Broadkill Beach. Coast TV News reporter Drew Bellinger breaks down the timeline and shows us the importance of this work.
Waves crashing on Broadkill Beach. Some of the dunes here have been severely eroded for years and got even more damaged after recent storms that hit the coast. Denmark says these dunes on Broadkill Beach are a vulnerable area of Delaware's coast. Take a look from our Coast Copter. This week, Denmark began realigning a 1-mile stretch of dune. This plan involves moving sand to better match the current shoreline and restoring a heavily damaged center section of the beach, according to Denmark. In some spots, the dunes have turned into cliffs, so the agency says crews will remove these steep slopes at beach access points.
They can be pretty dicey.
Brian Gibson says fighting Mother Nature will be easier said than done.
Nature has its way, so it seems like it's always going to be pulling the dunes away. But good to know that the properties will be hopefully continue to be safe.
Dune realignment was originally proposed by Denmark back in June. The state saying they plan to redistribute sand from the southern part of the beach to reinforce the northern end.
It's a big revenue for Delaware.
Bob Conti lives by Broadkill Beach.
Anything Denmark can do that's, a positive thing for us and all the communities, all the coastal towns, is a plus.
According to Denmark, all project work will occur above the mean high tide line. Officials say the work is weather dependent and therefore realignment could take another month or longer. Efforts to keep Broadkill Beach intact. In Broadkill Beach, Drew Bellinger, Coast TV News.
As Drew mentioned, our coastal storms can play a big role in damaging those dunes. You may remember Hurricane Erin in August. Denmark labeled that a severe erosion event, and in October, a nor'easter struck the coast that left behind a dramatic 6-foot sand drop along the Bethany Beach boardwalk.
Check this out. We're getting this video from Hawaii. Lava continues to flow from Hawaii's erupting Kilauea volcano. According to the United States Geological Survey, the volcano's been erupting episodically since December 23rd of 2024. Eruptive episodes usually last for less than 12 hours. It's separated by pauses that can be as long as over 2 weeks. Fountains of lava reached up to 20 feet inside the crater.
A $2.55 million investment is expected to bring major improvements to drinking water in Worcester County. Maryland Representative Andy Harris says the money will be used for the Newark Water Treatment Plant Replacement Project. According to Harris, Worcester County's water treatment system needs to be upgraded to meet today's standards. State leaders say the project aims to replace current equipment and increase treatment capacity.
Also in Worcester County, Public Works will temporarily shut off water service in the Assateague Point service area. This is on Tuesday, January 13th from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Officials say it will allow crews to install isolation valves. Work is expected to impact about 523 homes for up to 9 hours. According to county officials, if weather causes delays, the work will get rescheduled for Wednesday. New overnight, unrest continues in Iran after protests voice opposition to that country's government.
And Iran warned President Trump on Sunday that Israeli and U.S. military bases in the region could be considered legitimate targets if a strike goes ahead. NBC's Alice Barr shows us why people are unhappy and what President Trump is saying on the issue.
Amid a deadly crackdown against anti-government protesters in Iran that human rights groups say has killed more than 500 people, President Trump overnight confirming he's weighing options for potential U.S. intervention and saying that Iran called to negotiate.
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up, but we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
3 U.S. officials tell NBC News preliminary plans the president has been presented with range from potential strikes to other non-military action. Notably, the Pentagon has not yet moved major assets to the region to support possible military action. Iran is now warning that U.S. and Israeli military bases in the region could be considered legitimate targets if the U.S. launches a strike, and adding their response may not be limited to reacting after an attack.
If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong.
Some Republican lawmakers urging President Trump to act,
embolden the protesters and scare the hell out of the regime,
while others warn of the risks of potential military action.
Sometimes it has the opposite effect. So when you bomb a country, then people tend to rally around their own flag.
The protests in Iran, initially touched off by an economic crisis, have evolved into one of the biggest challenges the regime has ever faced. Over the weekend, demonstrators in Los Angeles marching in solidarity were struck by a U-Haul truck. The FBI is now investigating. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
If you traveled on the Northeast Regional Amtrak or Baltimore Airport shuttles last week, listen up. Maryland's Department of Health says someone with a confirmed case of measles was traveling along those routes while infectious late January 7th into early January 8th. If you were on the train from Philadelphia to D.C. or on the BWI shuttles during that time, you could be at risk. Officials say check your vaccination status and watch for symptoms like fever, cough, or a rash, and call your doctor before going out into public. We have more information on what you can be exposed to at CoastTV.com.
The up and down Eagles 2025 season ends on a downer. The Birds failed to score a touchdown in the second half. They lose at home to the 49ers in the NFC playoffs, meaning we will have a new Super Bowl champ this year. We'll have more on this game later on Coast TV News Today.
And we're just getting started this morning here on Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, Delmarva highlights blood donations, why the blood bank says there's often a drop this time of the year.
Also, corporate center development, when leaders expect completion for a project that could bring new jobs to Milford.
Still ahead, Macy's closing several stores, why the department store giant is shrinking its footprint in the United States. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center. You can see him there. He's trying to recover from that Eagles loss. We check in with him next.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva, as we take a live look into Salisbury. Cold, dry conditions greeting us this morning. We're at 30 degrees, 30 in Georgetown, 32 Lewis to 32 in Bethany Beach. Wind chills are in the 20s, so it feels like 24 Lewis, 27 Georgetown, and 24 in Ocean City. Now, the good news is we're going to see plenty of sunshine today. Dry start to the week as high pressure builds into the region. So we have our cold start right around 30 degrees, wind chills in the 20s. The good news is the winds aren't going to be as gusty as where they were yesterday. Seasonable, right on par with our seasonal average, high at 45 under mostly sunny skies. We will talk about a brief touch of the 50s before a more cold winter-like weather pattern rolls in late week. We'll talk about it here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. This week is Agriculture Week in Delaware. The annual event runs January 12th through the 15th at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. It brings together farmers, industry experts, and vendors for educational sessions and updates on everything from poultry and produce. Most sessions are free to attend, but some require registration.
On your screen right now is where DelDOT says nightly closures will go in place in Milford. The closures will run from tonight through mid-February. This is for bridge painting, and the closures will get underway from 9 p.m. through 6 a.m.
Macy's plans to close 14 of its stores in 12 states across the country. The company says the closures are part of Macy's strategy to shrink its footprint in the United States. The department store chain says its goal is to better serve customers and support long-term growth, and the closures will allow Macy's to invest more in the stores that are doing well and expand its digital presence.
President Donald Trump says he wants to put a limit on credit card interest rates. In a Truth Social post, the president called for a one-year cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. Trump wants that cap to take effect January 20th. That marks the one-year anniversary of his return to the White House.
Starting our new week here on Delmarva with plenty of sunshine and some pretty nice temperatures here, at least for the first 3 days of the week, but that's going to change. A more winter-like weather pattern will roll in late week. We'll talk about that, plus some rain and snow chances next.
Time is 5:19, and you are looking live at the bright lights of the Ferris wheel off in the distance there in Ocean City. And Chris, I appreciate you and I are in sync with our suit game today. Thought you might go with black, though.
Yeah, I should have worn my black tie today in mourning
of
the Eagles' season-ending loss last night. As we take a live look into Dover, we are right below the freezing mark there, 31 degrees. And look at the temperature difference over the last 24 hours. We had some mild temperatures over the weekend. 21-degree temperature change there in Salisbury. We're 21 degrees cooler in Ocean City. Right now, we are holding at 29 in Redden, 29 Long Neck, 31 Ocean Pines, and 31 in Rehoboth. Winds right now anywhere between about 5 to 12 miles an hour. Still seeing some gusts to near 20 around Indian River Inlet, but for the most part, the winds are going to be relaxing. But look at the wind chills this morning. It feels like 24 in Long Neck, 24 in Redden, and it feels like 26 in Delmarva. Now, we do have some small craft advisories that still remain in play through at least the early part of the morning. Other than that, high pressure is going to be building in and keeping us nice and tranquil here over the next few days. You can see highs over the last 5 days. We were well above average through the late part of last week into the weekend, well into the 60s. We had soaking rain on Saturday. Today, we are at 45 degrees, so right on par for our seasonable average highs. 45 Easton to 43 in Denton, 45 in Snow Hill this afternoon. Under those clear skies, will remain clear and dry overnight, falling into the mid to upper 20s. And Tuesday looking fantastic as well. More of a southwest wind. Temperatures getting into the low 50s under mostly clear skies, and will stay dry even into Wednesday. Temperatures still in the lower to mid 50s with clouds increasing. There's those winds today, anywhere gusting between about 15 to 20 miles an hour. We'll see more of a south to southwest wind into the day on Tuesday, and then those winds will pick up a bit late tomorrow into Wednesday, gusting to near 25 miles an hour. So we're a little above average here, Tuesday through Wednesday. Then as we go into Thursday, that's kind of a transition day. We're gonna have a cold front push through the area. That's gonna bring around us some rain and snow. There's been some rumblings about a potential snowstorm. Doesn't look like the energy is going to phase. The energy coming out of the west, forming a coastal low. Looks like by the time it gets its act together, it's well offshore. But we are going to be transitioning into a more winter-like weather pattern beginning Thursday. Going into the weekend, we have another opportunity for some snow late Sunday through Monday, and we're going to continue to see well below average temperatures as we go into the start of next week. You can see the temperature outlook here over the next 6 to 10 days below normal temperatures. 45 this afternoon under those sunny skies. We fall to 27 overnight, 52 for our Tuesday. Tuesday looks like the pick of the week when you consider sunny skies and the temperatures. We're at 54 into Wednesday, watching for that rain and snow, kind of a raw day into Thursday, a breezy cold day into Friday, 36 degrees, and then we're back up to 45 into Saturday, looking nice, and then watching for that chance of some snow late Sunday through Monday. We'll continue to follow that through the week, but overall, a nice start to the week with temperatures right around 45 degrees and mostly sunny skies.
Thank you, Chris. Several projects are underway at the Milford Corporate Center at Route 14 and Canterbury Road. Phase 1 of the center, which broke ground in March of 2025, is looking at completion by early summer. And officials say the project should bring new jobs and opportunities and are calling 2026 a pivotal year for Milford.
We're looking for our residents to be able to live here, stay here, work and play here. So if we can keep all of that in our community and keep the local economy boosting, that's what we're looking for with this project.
And the city also plans to review zoning and land use rules to expand housing and improve affordable housing.
Up next on Coast TV News today, Delmarva highlights blood donations, how the Blood Bank of Delmarva plans to increase donations across the peninsula. We'll be right back. January is National Blood Donor Month, and the Blood Bank of Delmarva is urging the community to step up. The blood bank says donations often drop during this time of the year due to illnesses, busy schedules, and weather. The Blood Bank of Delmarva currently has about a 3 to 4 day supply, though they aim to keep a full week on hand. With EMS vehicles and Delaware State Police aviation units carrying whole blood statewide, that demand is growing.
Blood is perishable, blood is precious, so it's important that we get that on a regular basis. But even if you have an isolated opportunity, give blood, you'll help someone.
And there are donor centers open year-round, including one in Dagsboro and another blood drive coming to Ocean City later this month.
Now, we mentioned earlier that Grace Eckley is not here with us. She was with about 70,000 of her closest friends on Sunday at the Eagles playoff game.
And it appears, she's in really good spirits here, having fun. Chris, we're going to let you determine if Grace was a jinx or not. I don't know.
No, not in any way. I told her when I left here on Friday, I said, come on, Grace, get us a win. But no, it was the same problems that have been plaguing us all season long. Bad penalties, the offense disjointed. All right, let's take a live look into Ocean City. We'll take a look there. 33 degrees, plenty of sunshine expected through the afternoon today. 41 in Ocean City through about your lunchtime, 42 into your noontime into Fenwick Island. A really nice day. Winds aren't going to be all that high, in fact, as well. 41 in through Lewis by around your noontime hour, even into Rehoboth. Wall-to-wall sunshine through the bay. Cambridge and Crisfield looking very nice there as we see a beautiful start to the week. Seasonable temperatures today as we get up into the lower to mid 50s. Congratulations to Carlton Schlegel of Millsboro, Delaware on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. Coming up in the next half hour, we will talk about some rain and snow chances by late week.
All right, thank you, Chris. We got you a little worked up there. But after the break on Coast TV News today, Lewis home-based businesses, what city leaders could discuss today regarding an ordinance on the issue.
Also, Georgetown Circle Protection, what is up for discussion to improve safety?
And Fire Company substation decision, what first responders in Milford say is driving the need for faster emergency response times. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Response readiness rising.
There's a lot to cover out there.
What Milford's Carlisle Fire Company says is a solution to getting to an emergency quicker.
Protective, post-planned.
They hit the curb and then backed up and then took off.
Why Georgetown officials are pushing for some form of barrier for its downtown circle.
Crowds climb, cash drops. We look at a concerning business trend in Ocean City over the last couple of summers.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s this morning. We're going to start the week off with plenty of sunshine, seasonable temperatures, but we could be in for a pattern change late week, cold and potentially stormy weather.
This is Coast TV News Today.
January 12th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
5:31, and we're still in dry out mode after all that rain Saturday, and there was some rain Sunday morning,
all that
too.
Rain on Saturday. I mean, you and I have a rule, especially in the summertime. It's not supposed to rain on the weekends.
No.
I thought we talked
about this.
I know. We've told Chris multiple times. Chris, are you going? Please just buy summertime.
Just apologize to us. We'll accept the apology.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I warned you guys on Friday that was some bad timing for the rain as we headed into the Saturday. But we had the mild temperature, so it wasn't any snow. It would have been a lot of snow if it was. 30 degrees right now in Salisbury. We're at 29 in Longneck, 29 Harrington, 30 in Georgetown. So temperature-wise, upper 20s to lower 30s. Now winds right now are anywhere between about 8 in Delmar, 17 in Indian River Inlet, and that's creating wind chills in the 20s. It feels like 24 Longneck, Rehoboth. Feels like 24 in Salisbury, so 26 in Bridgeville. So certainly a little shock to the system after those mild temperatures over the weekend. Now we're going to stay pretty dry. You can see not a whole lot going on across the west, across the Ohio River Valley, as high pressure will build in. We're looking at a mostly sunny day, 39 by around lunchtime. We'll top out right around the mid 40s, so seasonable temperatures, then we'll fall to 37 this evening under mainly clear skies. So we're going to continue to stay dry here over the next few days, but we are going to see some unsettled weather by the end of the week. Some rain and snow on the way. We'll break that down in my full 7-day forecast here in minutes.
Well, thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, a decision is possible for plans to expand the Carlisle Fire Company in Milford. The agency wants to turn an existing storage building on Cedar Branch Road into a substation.
Yeah, last month, the Milford Planning Commission approved plans, sending a final decision to City Council.
The fire company says rapid growth in Milford is driving the need for faster emergency response times.
And according to the City Council agenda, a public hearing is scheduled for a conditional use ordinance to allow the project to move forward. City Council meeting is tonight at 6.
Happening today, a public forum about a proposed wind farm off the coast of Ocean City. It's very important to note this forum is being organized by opponents to the U.S. wind project. That forum begins at 5:30 at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center.
New this morning, Georgetown is one step closer to adding protection to the circle.
They are also hoping to maintain its historic character, and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us what's up for discussion.
More protective pillars around Georgetown Circle are in the works. Town Council is expected to consider a $26,000 proposal from the town engineer for the design and permitting of more protection during Monday's Town Council meeting. Georgetown Town Manager Jean Dvornik says it's all about improving safety.
After we had several crashes into the circle, we had a circle advisory committee that was formed. And one of their recommendations was to come up with a better solution, so we worked with a landscape architect who did a conceptual design.
The town hopes to have the design and have it out to bid within the next 6 to 8 months. Charlie Koski, who owns a business right on the circle and is part of the Georgetown Circle Advisory Committee, is hopeful about the change.
I've witnessed during the day someone almost enter the circle. They hit the curb and then backed up and then took off. So it's not only happening at night, but it can happen during the day. And the ballards are there really for public safety.
Dvornik adds, once the new safety protections are installed, Chief Harvey Gregg and Officer Chad Spicer monuments will come back.
I'd rather have this safety and security around the perimeter and then put the monuments back than to do the reverse, put them back and then have something catastrophic happen.
The town hopes to start the work in the fall and have it done by the end of the year. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And Georgetown's Town Council meeting is scheduled for tonight following the 6:30 public hearing.
Also happening today, there's more discussion on home-based businesses in Lewis. According to the agenda for tonight's Mayor and City Council meeting, they plan to discuss rescinding an ordinance to allow these types of businesses. And that home dog grooming business started this review years ago, and tonight's City Council meeting is set for 5:30.
A $2.55 million investment is expected to bring major improvements to drinking water in Worcester County. Maryland Representative Andy Harris says the money will be used for the Newark Water Treatment Plant Replacement Project. According to Harris, Worcester County's water treatment system needs to be upgraded to meet today's standards. State leaders say the project aims to replace current equipment and increase treatment capacity.
In Ocean City, a number of restaurants say their revenue went down when comparing 2025 to 2024. This comes even as occupancy in Ocean City has increased. The restaurant, Mother's Cantina, is reporting a 20% drop in revenue. And the owner there, Ryan James, says other business owners he has spoken with have also seen their numbers drop.
People have less disposable income now, so the first thing that they cut out when they go out for the weekend, or they come to their second home, or they come down here for a week's vacation, is going out and spending a lot of money in bars and restaurants.
James says he was able to cut costs and make adjustments just in order to keep his business going.
New overnight unrest continues in Iran as protesters voice opposition to the country's government. President Trump overnight confirming he's weighing options for potential U.S. intervention that could include potential strikes or non-military action. Iran is now warning that U.S. and Israeli military bases in the region could be considered legitimate targets if the U.S. launches a strike.
If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong.
And the protests in Iran, initially touched off by an economic crisis, have evolved into one of the biggest challenges the region has ever faced.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, trucks still driving downtown, how some people in Millsboro say the oversized vehicles are disrupting daily life.
And Eagles eliminated. The offense goes south again as the Super Bowl champs are dethroned. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Hope this Monday morning is treating you well. Delmarva, we got some cold wind chills out there this morning as we take a live look into Salisbury. 30 degrees. We have clear skies across the area. We're at 32 in Snow Hill. We're at the freezing mark in Lewis, 30 Georgetown, 34 in Cambridge. When you factor in the wind chill, it feels like 24 Salisbury, 28 in Cambridge, and it feels like 24 along the Delaware coast. Now we're going to see plenty of sunshine through the day today as we see temperatures get up to right around the lower to mid 40s across the area. So all in all, a seasonably cool day and a beautiful start to the week. You get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalas Federico. We'll talk about some colder temperatures and maybe some flakes by late week. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. In Salisbury, a section of Mill Street will be closed today for bridge repair work. City officials say the closure will be between Lemon Hill Lane and Route 50. The closure is scheduled for 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Drivers are advised to use alternative routes and allow additional travel time there in Salisbury. And a heads up for drivers in Kent County. DelDOT says today the state's newest roundabout will be open for traffic. It's on Route 10 in Camden, just next to Route 113. And DelDOT says remember to yield in and signal out when using a roundabout.
The calendar has flipped to 2026 and the Birds back in the playoffs to defend their Super Bowl title. A lot of momentum for the Eagles heading into their Sunday first round game of the 49ers. They won 3 in a row in weeks 15 through 17 before resting many key starters in a week 18 loss to Washington. Eagle fans out in force at the field in South Philly, trailing 7-0 midway through the first. The Eagles get on the board on this Dallas Goedert end around, but Jake Elliott missed the extra point. That would be a big miss. Made it a 7-6 game. About 15 minutes of game action later, it's Hurts in the air to Goddard, and the Birds take a 13-7 lead. We go to just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Eagles clinging to a 19-17 lead when the Niners. Brock Purdy finds Christian McCaffrey. 49ers up 23-19. They missed the extra point as well. Eagles drive to field goal range, but remember that missed extra point? They needed a touchdown. And on 4th and 11, Eric Hendricks knocks down a pass intended for Goddard. That was the ball game. Eagles lose in a game that embodied their 2025 season.
We were playing, we're balanced, got the run game going a little bit, trying to mix our play actions in, trying to get our passes in to create explosives. At the end of the day, we didn't create enough explosives. They did. Give them credit. They made more plays than we did. They coached better than we did, and that's why they won.
Season is over. The post-mortem underway this morning as there will be no repeat Super Bowl champion. Just hours ago here on Coast TV, Drake May's 28-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to Hunter Henry allows the Patriots to get by the Chargers 16-3. It was New England's first playoff win in 7 years. In Jacksonville on Sunday, Bills quarterback Josh Allen passed for a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and then, with just over a minute to go, pushes through for the winning score. The Bills get the win 27-24.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6 o'clock, Colonel Richardson takes on Cambridge South Dorchester in boys basketball. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30. And you can watch that game we just mentioned on DSN Plus, along with these exclusives. At 5:30, Parkside faces Pocomoke in boys basketball. Also at 5:30, Y-High hosts Mardella in boys basketball. And at 6:30, Sussex Central battles Nandua in girls basketball. And this year's entertainment award season is kicked off with the 83rd Annual Golden Globe Awards. David Daniel has a look at the evening's highlights.
Adolescence dominated the TV side of the 83rd Golden Globes. The psychological drama won a trio of acting honors and Best Limited Series, Anthology, or Made-for-TV Movie.
Removing hate is our generation's responsibility. It requires thought from the top down. The possibility seems remote right now, but hope is a beautiful thing.
I've been very blessed in my life. I was raised in a family that put a high priority on art and on
curiosity and on service.
Noah Wiley won for The Pit, which also took Best TV Drama. Seth Rogen accepted an acting award and Best TV Comedy for The Studio, and Jean Smart won her 3rd Golden Globe for Hacks.
I'm one of the luckiest people in this, not this room, this entire business, and it does not go unappreciated.
Also grateful, Pluribus star Ray Seahorn, Best Female Actor in a TV Drama.
I'm still so grateful that I get to do this for a living, and this is incredible icing on that cake. Thanks.
And Timothy Chalamet, Best Male Actor in a Movie, Musical, or Comedy for Marty Supreme.
Always be grateful for what you have. It's allowed me to leave this ceremony in the past empty-handed, my head held high, grateful just to be here. But I'd be lying if I didn't say those moments didn't make this moment that much sweeter. For my parents, for my partner, I love you. Thank you so much.
One battle after another.
The big film winner was One Battle After Another, with 4 awards, 3 for writer-director Paul Thomas Anderson.
You guys are being so generous with this affection for me and this film, and I'll take it.
Hamnet.
And motion picture drama went to Chloe Zhao's Hamnet, whose lead, Jessie Buckley, was also honored.
The most important thing of being an artist is learning to be vulnerable enough to allow ourselves to be seen.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you are having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, the mild temperatures from the weekend are behind us, and we're saying hello to wind chills in the 20s this morning, but we will say hello to plenty of sunshine today as we get up into the mid-40s. We'll talk about some dry weather to start the week and some unsettled weather to end it. Your full 7-day forecast up next.
The time is now 5:49, and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Chris, you've been saying a phrase I don't really love: seasonable temperatures for January. I like, when it's out of the norm for the season, super warm. Had a decent weekend temperature-wise, minus the rain, though.
Yeah, if we didn't have the rain, it would have been really nice. I mean, we had temperatures getting up well into the 60s, but the 60s are behind us now as we take a live look into Ocean City. Dry start to the day. We're at 33 degrees there. Look at the temperature change over the last 24 hours. 21 degrees cooler in Ocean City and Salisbury, 19 in Georgetown, where we're holding at 30, 31 Milford, we're at 31 Gumboro, 33 in Indian River Inlet. Winds right now anywhere between about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northwest, and some gusts. We've had a gust near 24 there in Indian River Inlet. For the most part, the gusts are winding down. It feels like 24 Redden, 24 Long Neck, and 25 in Ocean City. We have clear skies across the Delmarva Peninsula, and that's the way it's going to stay today. High pressure building in across the east, and look at that. It's pretty quiet from really the Atlantic coast all the way out through the Midwest, and there it is. Plenty of sunshine through the day today, getting up to 43 Lewis, 45 in Georgetown, 44 Easton, to 44 in Cambridge. So we'll remain clear throughout the day today, and then we'll carry those clear skies into the overnight, dipping into the mid to upper 20s, and a Tuesday looking fantastic as well, getting into the lower 50s. Now clouds will increase Wednesday, still on the mild side with that southwest wind as we get those temperatures into the mid 50s. Winds today out of the west, gusting near 20 miles an hour. As we go into the day on Tuesday, winds will be pretty relaxed, but they'll pick up a bit late in the day through the evening, near 30, 35 miles an hour. You can see rain and snow chances by Thursday. We can see pretty low, though. There's been some rumblings of potential snow as we go into Thursday. Now, we're going to have an area of low pressure diving across the area through the day on Thursday. Some energy off the coast. These aren't phasing at the right time. They're going to phase well offshore, so we're going to see just a few rain and snow showers, a rather raw day, but a cold shot of air comes in by late week, and that sets the stage for some potential snow even into Sunday night through Monday, as we kick off a rather more winter-like weather pattern here as we go into the second half of the week. Now, we go into the 17th to the 21st, you can see well below normal temperatures throughout much of the east and the plains. 45 this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Seasonable temperatures, 27 for the overnight as we fall with those clear skies. 52 for our Tuesday. We stay sunny, we stay dry. Really nice start to the week. And then there's that rain and snow chance as we go into Thursday. Not expecting any accumulation accumulation at this point. 36 by Friday, a cold day. And then we're back up to 45 into Saturday. Dry start to the weekend. And then watching for the potential of some light snow showers into Sunday afternoon through Sunday night.
Thank you, Chris. The Milford bypass has been open for about 4 months and was designed to lighten the traffic load in the area. But many tell CoastTV that trucks are still driving right through the town's main streets instead of using that bypass. People who live and work downtown say the heavy truck traffic brings more than just noise. They say strong odors are making the area less appealing, and the impact hasn't lived up to expectations.
It's really important that this town develop as the other towns to become a destination. And the only way we can do that is to get rid of the trucks from downtown.
And Millsboro Police Chief says the police department and DelDOT plan to keep collecting data throughout the spring and summer in order to make any permanent changes. And the time is now 5:52, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day this hour is a rescue. That is Chong, right now on your screen. Chong is deaf, but that doesn't stop his electric personality, and Chong was submitted to us by Leslie in Bridgeville.
Chong is adorable. We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Make sure you send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, there's where that QR code is, top center. Scan that to get your friend to Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. After plenty of gray, and Chris and I are in solidarity, I guess, with the weather that was over, especially Saturday, we should get a good amount of sun today.
I'm going to enjoy that sun, Chris, because your forecast for later this week does not look very appealing to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be transitioning into a more classic winter weather pattern here as we go into late week. So that's why I'm saying enjoy the sunshine and these seasonable temperatures we're going to have today. You can see wall-to-wall sunshine starting off in the lower 30s. We'll be up to 44 by around lunchtime, topping out right in the mid-40s this afternoon, 52 by Tuesday, so still really nice in through Wednesday. Clouds increase. Then we're watching a system, a cold front that's going to be pushing through, giving us a chance for some rain and snow showers as we go into the day on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, very raw days. Partly cloudy skies in through Friday, and then the start of the weekend looking dry for now, and then we're looking at a potential chance of snow late Sunday in through Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day there. But look at the temperatures as we go into early next week, well below average, and that's really how we're going to stay here, at least through the late week into the early part of next week. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And coming up on our next hour, Fire Company considered how the ability in Milford to improve response times could take a step forward tonight. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.